To the Trump indictment, because there is a lot of new information coming in this morning just into the Fox 4 newsroom. CNN reports that New York prosecutors initially asked former President Donald Trump to turn himself in today, one day after he was indicted. But now it looks like it'll be next week at the earliest. CNN reports it will be Tuesday. And Fox News reports this morning Trump could face more than 24 counts related to business fraud.
Trump's attorney says that he's surprised by the timing of the indictment and that more time is needed for the Secret Service to coordinate Trump's surrender. That looks like, again, it could happen, like Chris said, next week. As Madeline Rivera shows us this morning, security is already on high alert now that the indictment is official.
New York Police Department has ordered every officer to report in uniform Friday as a precautionary measure after former President Donald Trump's indictment Thursday.
We're going to win this case. We will humiliate them.
The Manhattan grand jury investigating alleged hush money payments made on former President Donald Trump's behalf, including to adult film star Stormy Daniels, officially indicted him Thursday. The former president taking to Truth Social, saying in part, quote, "They only brought this fake, corrupt, and disgraceful charge against me because I stand with the American people." Protesters gathered outside Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate Thursday night, slamming the indictment.
I think the American people are going to look at this, see it as one more example of the criminalization of politics in this country.
Even Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who may run against him for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, tweeted in part that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has, quote, "consistently bent the law to downgrade felonies and to excuse criminal misconduct. Yet now he is stretching the law to target a political opponent." Meanwhile, many Democrats say the indictment shows no one is above the law. Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar tweeting, "When someone, no matter how powerful they are, is suspected of a criminal act, our justice system investigates, charges, and convicts them in accordance with due process." Trump is expected to turn himself in early next week. When he appears for his arraignment, he will likely be fingerprinted and have a mugshot taken. In New York, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
And this morning, former President Trump says he will still run for president next year, no matter what crimes he's charged with. Like most major Republicans, Governor Ron DeSantis responded to the indictment. He tweeted this out yesterday: "The weaponization of the legal system to advance a political agenda turns the rule of law on its head. It is un-American." He also wrote, "Florida will not assist in an extradition request given the questionable circumstances at issue with this Soros-backed Manhattan prosecutor and his political agenda." We should note that there has been no information come forth that an extradition request has been given.
This morning, we're also hearing from elected officials in our state about Trump's indictment. There's been a lot of conversation about a possible Trump-DeSantis matchup in the run for the White House. Florida Republicans believe the indictment could unite their party, while Democrats are curious to see if it could actually hurt DeSantis should he decide to run for president.
I think it's bad for the country overall, and I think Republicans are going to come together united as a result of this, and it's going to backfire on Biden. We're going to win in 2024.
I'm also curious how it impacts Ron DeSantis's bid for the president, because I do think situations like this tend to boost up Trump's profile. There are many people who see him as that martyr, and I feel like this kind of adds to that narrative for him.
Of course, we will be tracking reactions to the indictment as they continue to come in throughout the morning today.
A Florida Gulf Coast University professor tells us, legally speaking, this indictment does not prevent the former president from serving in office again. But Department of Justice Studies professor Pamela C. says if there are voters who don't have a strong opinion of him out there, this indictment could turn them away from him. We don't know right now exactly what Trump will be charged with, but she says there could be flaws with the case if the state prosecutor is trying to tie Trump to breaking federal laws.
A grand jury hears only what the district attorney wants them to hear. You don't hear from the defendant. You don't hear the other side of the story.
Right, and of course, all morning we've been tracking the former president's historic indictment, reactions from politicians, not just here in Florida, but across the country.
You can see how they're weighing in right now when you go to our website, fox4now.com.